and I'll just mute myself because no one cares about me.
We care, but
We
we understand.
care.
All right. Well, good afternoon, morning, or evening, everyone. This is Giles Edwards from 366 Weird Movies, and I am seeing virtually, even though I guess I don't necessarily have to, director, producer, writer, filmmaker Miguel Llansó coming to us live from Eleusis. Good day to you.
Good day, good day. And long time we don't see each other. 5 years right now.
5 years, that sounds, yeah. Jesus shows you the way to the highway is, well, at least as far as Fantasia and Our People are concerned, was your big breakthrough hit movie, and you have come roaring back with Infinite Summer, which is, what kind of debut is it having at Fantasia? World debut, North American?
World. It's the first
Wonderful.
time we are gonna show it.
That's
So
That is great. And I've got I guess, a 3-day lead because I took in a screener that publicist Mr. Cook was good enough to share with me. So I've seen it and can actually, talk about it with you. Um, so I guess we'll kick off with as this is a different movie with a different tone, different kind of production, but still also quite a bit about the same thing as Jesus shows you the way to the highway. So I'm hoping to maybe leave it to you for a few minutes to discuss those elements I've just mentioned and why you have stayed on the same investigation creatively, shall we say, but done something that is almost entirely different from the, shall we say, much more madcap wackiness that we all enjoyed from Jesus Shows You the Way to the Highway.
yes, I think at the core is it's a very similar topic. I like adventure movies, so there is always a certain trip of a hero. In this case, three heroines that go into a very strange trip as well of self-discovery and even self-destruction, if you want to say it. I don't know. I keep it open. It's destructive, it's constructive. So in that sense, I'm keeping exploring alternative reality. So what we can, or the future, or what, in Jesus, it was parallel realities and virtual realities. In this case, it's kind of another reality, which is the future of humanity. Where are we gonna go?
Hmm.
And the difference is that Jesus was a very cartoonish movie. Everything was very archetypical, very cartoonish, very quirky. And here we try to make it a little bit more realistic, or I thought. But yeah, and we try to ground the acting a little bit more in reality, and make it more believable, if you want to, not so like a comic, but more like as you know that you could believe what was happening.
Mhm.
And I don't know if the result, I don't know which one I like the most. I can I think I find myself better in a more cartoonish world because I'm not a psychologist. I'm more like as a philosopher. So when you enter more in the realistic ground, you have to go deeper into the psychology of the characters, which is something that I don't particularly like very much. I'm not a psychologist and I'm not a novelist. I'm a philosopher, and I think the films that go more into the psychology are highly rooted in novels, no, and in the psychological process of the characters, no, and I'm more like a guy of ideas. And but I think, well, this is up to the audience to judge. But yes, they're gonna find something radically different, more grounded, more realistic,
Mhm.
even if it goes into some psychedelic trip as well.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to focus on that one word that's come up here, different. It's the kind of situation where I'd be hard pressed to say which movie is better, Jesus Shows You the Way to the Highway or Infinite Summer, and they are just such different things. Infinite Summer begins with first act or so is it's a coming of age story about these, you know, three young women. They've wrapped up high school. They have a pretty long history together, and you know that establishing that as quickly as you need to for a film is, you know, always a challenge. I like to see how filmmakers, you know, was like, okay, we have these people that we don't know, but we need to know in our bones that they have been together, you know, much of their, you know, formative lives. And so, you know, tonally that is quite different from the, you know, stop motion capering of the first act or so in Jesus Shows You the Way to the Highway. But it was, you know, I'll say it was quite nicely done. And I was like, okay, yeah, I can see that these people enjoy each other's company, but have a history of getting on each other's nerves in certain ways. And so that, you know, nicely lays the groundwork for us being more invested in the fantastical element, which leads me to the Eleusis phenomena that they all experience in their different ways, and which is also, I think, the closest connection to your film from 5 years ago. I hope you might, well, it looks like you might be keen to expand on what I'll call her she, since she has this nice, soft, bubbly, feminine voice, what she's about, and maybe hint at what she is, because your film is unclear, but you know, just to sort of hook our listeners.
Well, basically, these three young women, the beginning is a kind of cliche, three young women in a summer vacation. So it starts like even like a slasher, it could be, or like a, but, and then we have something called Eleusis, and this is like an application, it's an app that, well, delivers a very kind of pleasant and strange experience, no, when you use this app. And so it's a gate to another reality, to another dimension, or not necessarily to another reality, but to another state of being, or to another yeah, perception of the world. And they start changing and physically changing. And I don't want to say where are they going and who is behind Eleusis, but well, Eleusis, I can give a hint. Eleusis is a place in the ancient Greece, and there was a place for transformation. It was a place where people have a wreath of you know, as a passage. So it was related to a passage related to nature and to I mean, to death and to transformation. It was related to agriculture. So everything has to die to be reborn again, a little bit like Osiris as well. So it's a little bit, it's a passage of, you know, when we are a teenager, we die, and we, you know, and we become a different person, and we become a different being. And so we are constantly in life dying and becoming a new person. And I think that's the essence of coming of age, right? Dying and becoming a new person. And in this case, it could be not metaphorically, but in reality, no? And that's Eleusis, no? It's a process of radical change, I would say.
And a very helpful app. I quite appreciated that our first scene with this interface, shall we say, she happily explained why she was named that by whatever outfit group may be behind the app itself. And so our main character is Mia, and she is, I found quite interesting. She's obviously an anchor to the past there. She is one of the only characters that speaks her childhood language of Estonian, and all her friends pretty much have moved on to the global language of English, but she's very consistently, you know, speaking to her friends in their, you know, traditional child language. And she has a keen interest in anthropology, which, also again ties in with the past. There is a sort of side, not so much story, but I guess a series of news bulletins about a zoo collection and collection of, these animals from the present. And, the movie starts with a documentary about the past and, this and the other point. So it's these two things meeting, past into, future. And Mia is the conduit, primarily, as she, or I guess a reluctant conduit compared to her childhood friends that have sort of grown their ways. So it's a great trio of core characters. There were a couple of peripheral ones I was hoping to ask about. And as a catalyst, there's this kind of shady guy, Dr. Mindfulness, who is the one who uh, if you'll give my term here, brings the plot device into the movie. I was curious about him both broadly, but also specifically, his voice sounded really familiar. And I wonder if you might talk about both that and his character in Infinite Summer.
Yes, I mean, it sounds familiar because it's the voice of Gagano and Jesus Shows You the Way to the Highway. And the actor is my dear friend, Keanu Davis. And yes, I would say he's kind of a fake guru. This kind of people that can sell you something that they are not very sure about, but they sell you really like if they know. So like a smoke seller, and also a certain idealist because he wants the things, like a Don Quixote. That so it's very ambivalent, the character. At the beginning we really believe he can be very, I mean, like he could be even a rapist or something like that. And when I saw the film to some people, they say, okay, I don't know whether this guy is a rapist or is a genius or is so he has this dimension of danger and at the same time of Joker, no, like very at the same time stupid and loser and absurd. So I like that ambiguity, no, because it's we don't take it serious, but he is doing serious stuff there. So in this ambiguity, we feel a little bit insecure, or
Yeah,
we feel a bit yes.
yeah,
Yeah, he's well, there's a long story behind how did I cast it, and I don't know if you want to hear it, but it's quite a bit of a long story. We had Rory Culkin was going to play that role.
oh,
Yes, and when I wrote it, it was Rory Culkin, but he didn't show up in the. We start filming, and Rory says, "You look well, not Rory, but his representative, his agent said like, no, he's not coming because he had a better job. He got another." So basically, we were totally screwed, and and the filming was start. So I called my friend Kiaron, like, look, because when I was writing, I was always thinking about Kiaron, but so for some reason, we needed to have somebody famous there, to sell the film. So we start talking with Rory, and he was in and everything, but no, he didn't come. And the filming was in process. We start shooting. So I called Kiaron and said, I can be there tomorrow. And he came, well, it was very funny because the passport was expired when he was traveling. He had to come back, and it was a mess, but he saved us. So what I'm saying is that even if he looks like a terrible and very scary character, he saved our film. And it was he opened the dimension that he really opens as in the film as a you know as an actor and as a person, right? So
yeah.
sometimes people that look creepy and look terrible, they can be also of a help.
Well, that's cool because yeah, I did like that he starts as a sort of ambiguous power center, and then it kind of drops away as we learn more and more about him, which was just a wonderful development there. The other character, which is even more minor, I like his immediacy. The guy in Interpol who has a running food theme and never plans ahead is a great, I think, representation of this is a man who's in the now. He is not really concerned about the past. He's only concerned about the future in as much as it affects him immediately. And him and his partner were a great official diversion, sort of, I guess, holdover agents from, Jesus shows you the way to the highway that are the ones trying to keep tabs on the very mysterious thing that's happening, I guess, globally within Infinite Summer, although we have our delightful little window through Mia, Sam, and Sarah as they have their different and differently dangerous adventures. I am running a little short on time, but I am reminded again of another ancillary character, the father. Now, rightly or wrongly, I was kind of reminded of you, and that might be a little bit of what you are. There was the beard and hairstyle, of course. There was the glasses, so there's, a passing physical similarity. But in comparison to the grandmother character, this was a man who pursued a career in art and academia, defending himself. Is that remotely based on any experience of yours, or were you just
Yeah.
expostulating?
Well, why not? Yes, he's somehow a loser like I am, like an artist, like
He's a
an
great
art.
guy.
No, in that sense, no, not very social success and somebody. But I would say that the story of Mia, the main character, is also like a little bit like me. I was very shy when I was a teenager, so I was holding my past. I didn't want to, go further. I didn't want to discover very much. I was very much in my cocoon, and I want to hold. And this movie is about not holding to the past and transformation. It's about transformation. Everything trans. I think I have a very big love for everything trans. And the father is there trying to, and the old people like the detective Jack, they are always coming late. They are like in the slashers, the adults are always late, they are always conservative, they are always behind. And the young people, they are always discovering, they are always fearless to go towards the future. And I think that contrast, and I think I have both. I'm very conservative somehow, sometimes, like the father, and I'm also like Mia, but I also have this dimension of daring, and transforming myself, and trying to, we cannot, this society is changing so much, we cannot very, very, very conservative. No, we have to trust in the future, and we have to change. And so I think the dimension of trans applies to every character in a certain way, no?
Yeah, because in both your two most recent, Jesus Shows You the Way, and this one, there are really big things at stake, and there's a sort of quiet sense of doom, but that is complemented by hope, and that hope stems from humans, both individually and as a group, capacity for adaptation. So there's that broad theme that is maintained alongside the not technology run amok per se, because there seems to be real purpose behind it, but technology becoming something that perhaps warrants deeper conservative consideration of what are the implications of this. Because yes, change is good, but not all directions of change are advisable.
Definitely. I'm very technophobic, but at the same time I try to find hope in the way we maybe can, shape the future ourselves, in a very unpredictable way and very surprising way. So both things are, yes, and at the core again of the film, like in Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I'm just about out of time. So two very quick questions. One, you're at
You can have a few more minutes if you like.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Cook. So I guess, well, you can maybe take your slight time with this. Miguel, you're at Fantasia now. How long have you worked on this movie, and what are the immediate horizons for it in regards to availability after your premiere here?
We have been working 5 years in the movie because the post-production took a long time. It has a lot of VFX for the
Yeah.
people, a lot of effects and a big post-production. And at the moment, we are gonna release it here, and then we go to I cannot say the festivals we go in, but a very big list of very great festivals that have already shown our films. And I don't know, in terms of a bigger release, I think it's very early to say. We are just premiering right now, but yeah, we will see. We will see where it. I hope we have some theatrical release. At least we are gonna have it at least in Estonia. We will see in the US. And yeah, this is what can I cannot say so very much because we are just starting.
Oh yeah, actually, now that you mentioned Estonia, I hope you. I hear you're actually in town, and we're doing this virtually. Well, because why not? Do you plan on? Have you caught up with the other Estonian filmmakers who are here?
Yes, with Sander and with Peter, and I met them yesterday. I saw their film. I love it, and it's very strange to find because Estonia is not a place for genre films yet. But I really encourage and I love that the people is doing something different. And yeah, you
Oh
watch
yeah.
the film.
Yeah, well, you know that we at 366 always love it when people are doing something different. That's one reason why, even though I've sneakily seen your film already, I do plan to attend the premiere when it comes up this Saturday. So anyone in Montreal who hears this before Saturday, do check it out. It's having its premiere. And I guess I'll wrap up with a final question, which I know I asked you 5 years ago. So you may have the same answer, but you may have a different one and we can compare. Your hometown, can you recommend a restaurant there?
Are you talking about Madrid or are you
Oh,
talking
I'm
about
talking about, I think you may have mentioned a Madrid restaurant, but I'm guessing from this latest movie of yours, you've been in Estonia quite a bit as well. And I know you also were for a long time, maybe still in Ethiopia.
Yes. I would say that in Estonia, in Tallinn, Troika is a very strange place. It's one of my favorites. So you go to Tallinn, go to Troika. It's a Russian restaurant. They have bear meat. I don't take bear meat. I take more pelmeni, but it's a very strange place. Troika.
Okay, that's perfect. A strange restaurant recommendation for 366 Weird Movies. That's wonderful. Well, thank you very kindly, Miguel. And since I almost certainly will see you in some capacity in a couple days, I will take that wonderful recommendation as our moment to wrap it up here. And so I look forward to reviewing this film, and we'll post this interview once the movie's been, gotten its grand debut. So thank you very much, Miguel Alonso. The film is Infinite Summer, and it's coming to Fantasia. Oh, it's at Fantasia, and it's coming to, so I'm told, bunches of other great festivals scattered around the world. So thank you very kindly.
Thank you.